Welcome to Nerd on Nerd with me, Jack Kempster.
And me, Liam Underwood.
This week we have a special guest, Dan Palmer.
Yeah.
Whee! In this episode, we are going to be discussing Ren and Stimpy, as suggested by our very special guest, Dan Palmer.
I was pressured. Like I didn't. Yeah, I panicked. But it's okay.
We didn't give you much time to actually decide what you were going to do.
So is that, like, because I was going to ask, I'm genuinely curious, why did you choose Ren and Stimpy?
Well, I like cartoons. Ren and Stimpy had kind of been on my to-watch list for a while. Like, we had this chat briefly, I think, last week on Blab. Like, I didn't have Cartoon Network when I was younger, so I missed out on kind of Cow and Chicken and all the others. And I don't know, Ren and Stimpy, I enjoy a lot of slapstick kind of comedy stuff, and Ren and Stimpy's pretty slapstick comedy cartoon.
Did Cow and Chicken get moved? Was it on CITV at some
Moved.
point? Very good, Liam. That's appalling. I'm cutting that out.
High quality content. I came up with a joke the other day that I'm genuinely proud of.
Go on.
What's a Scottish person's favourite Avenger?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, that didn't deserve a laugh.
No, that was good. Fuck you. I was really proud. I did that to, like, Cat
do,
3 times.
Scarlet Witch or something, like, try and emphasise the...
Why did that get a bigger laugh?
Sorry,
Okay. It's fantastic. I performed it in front of Cat like 5 times and she laughed at least 4 of those times.
That's because your girlfriend knows that the easiest way to get you to stop doing something is to just accept that...
We're getting off track.
You say.
Yes, Liam.
Now
yes.
it's time for my favourite
Okay.
section, catching up with Jack and Liam and Dan. So, what did you all get up to recently?
I...
All right, yeah, Jack goes first. We won't let our guests go first.
Well, I don't know. I
Jesus.
don't mind. I'm... Ladies first.
No, whatever. I've been put in my place. Go on.
What, so you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I had a pretty busy week last week. I actually went out on a date on Monday.
Ooh.
Did you?
Yeah, so Monday, I was seeing this girl, and I took her for a drink.
Who is this mysterious woman?
Rather not say quite yet.
That's fair enough.
How did you meet?
It was for work. And then on Tuesday, we were making love by Wednesday, and then on Thursday,
You're a son of a bitch.
and Friday and Saturday, we chilled on Sunday.
You're a douche, Dan. You're a douchebag.
That does sound like quite a busy week.
It was so hectic.
So,
You're a complete arsehole. You're just quoting, what's his name? It's
Craig David.
Craig David, that's it. So, Dan, apart from quoting Craig David...
Okay, so I did. There were two things. Before I came on, I was thinking, and not much happened. There were two things. One thing that Jack already knows. Liam, you don't. You're going to enjoy this.
Okay.
So I got a call on Friday. I get a lot of advertising calls. I usually ignore them. But I got one, and I decided to answer it just because I haven't answered one for a while. Jack was used to me answering the phone at work and just chatting to whoever it was. So
For those that don't know, you two used to work together.
yes,
Yeah, we've also been friends since we were like 6.
Yeah, you could have done that in the introduction, but you didn't, so...
okay, we'll jump. We'll do a flashback or something. So I answered this phone, and a kind of a Cockney, heavy, deep guy answered the phone and went, "Daniel, I'm not going to even bother with the accent.
Oh, please try it. It will help.
I'm not going to. No."
He did just try Liam, and it sounded like a dwarf.
He was like, "Daniel, there's a horse race today with this horse. It's got these odds. You should place a bet on it, and you'll win." I was like, "Okay," just humouring him. And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "How much should I put on it? Like a couple of quid?" And he was like, "Nah, put like £200 on it." I was like, "Okay, fine." Accepted it, and he was like, I'll send you a text with some more details later. And I was like, "Okay, cool." And then we hung up. So it was just a phone call from a random guy telling me to place a bet on a horse.
Wait, did you not ask him like how he got your number and how he knew your name?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
So he sent me a text with some details, and and it had the horse information. It was I think it was Dartmouth, Chester 10:10 on the Friday. And it was the favourite one to win anyway. But I didn't place a bet. I'm not a betting person. I don't like it. I don't like that kind of thing. But we all in the office, we were kind of humouring it, and we were like, let's watch it. We'll watch the race over lunch, and we'll see what happens. Horse only went and won. So I lost out on a lot of money.
Wow. So
the thing here, right, is because Dan at some point in this situation had messaged me at work saying that he'd had this call. So I was like, the only logical conclusion is either 1, it's a scam, or 2, it's Dan from the future.
we were trying to work out what kind of scam this was as well. Like, did he want me to place bets and he was going to give me tips and then he was going to want to share the money? Or was he trying to alter the odds for other horses? Like, again, I'm not... Usually I just ignore these phone calls, so I don't have these scams usually often. Or it's usual, like, your PC has a virus. If you type into the command prompt, IP config, it will list these numbers, rah, rah, rah. Like that kind of stuff, and usually play along with that. But, so this horse won, and I missed out. And he tried to call me on Saturday. I ignored it.
Oh, you should have answered it.
Yeah, why didn't you answer?
I wasn't up for dealing with his shenanigans.
It could have been another hot tip.
But then, would I be accidentally linked to a gang?
I don't think that's how it works.
Guys?
You need to go through an initiation
Mafia?
phase first. Well, you need to
maybe
shoot
that's
a
the
person.
initiation.
But, the thing was, I sent him a text asking how he had my number and name, but I didn't get a reply back. Of course.
Yep.
But I kind of didn't want to go any further in case, he had my address, and...
Well, that's surely more of a reason to be talking to him, because you do not want to upset this person. If he does have your address...
Maybe that was whose motorbike it was earlier on.
Possibly. You could be a marked man right now.
That's okay. I've got a Nerf gun by my bed, so...
Well, that'll help.
Come at me, bruh. Other than that, I played the Overwatch beta on Saturday, which is pretty good. Do either of you guys play that?
Yeah,
Nope.
I completely missed the beta, but I really want that game. I really like the look of it.
It's really fun. It is honestly really fun, but it suffers from the same usual team-based issues where, team-based class issues where people are usually just one thing, like offensive or sniping, and then you're missing gaps in your team, and people don't understand how to look after medics and all that shit. No, it's team deathmatch basically.
Yeah,
or
it's more like
kind of
Team
capturing
Fortress.
Flags and stuff. Yes, yeah, exactly.
I never played that either.
And it's made by one of your favourite developers, or publishers, Liam.
Who's that?
Blizzard.
Blizzard. Why are they one of my favourites?
Because you're addicted to World of Warcraft?
I used to be. That was a long time ago, though.
Well. Can you ever really shake an addiction, Liam?
I don't know. Have you ever been addicted to anything?
Yeah, cigarettes.
And how did you manage to shake that?
I'm still on e-cigarettes, so I haven't really.
Aren't e-cigarettes meant to just be a way to kind of wean off of them?
No, they're a healthier alternative to cigarettes.
They're cheaper as well, right?
Yeah, they're cheaper
you're
and
only
not
buying
as
new
lethal.
coils and top-ups for your...
You know what's even cheaper?
gel?
Just not smoking anything.
I agree.
I mean, it wasn't I feel like you guys don't understand how the addiction to nicotine works.
Yeah, you just slap a patch on, and then you're all good, right?
Yeah,
But then
job
you've got to
done.
buy the patches.
Well, if you don't start, then you can't get addicted. I think
No,
that's
that's
where you
true.
went
I
wrong.
regret starting.
They say the same thing with Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop.
Exactly.
So-
Yeah, it's very similar to Pringles.
Although I
Cigarette-
do find
cigarette
Pringles
addiction.
quite easy to stop.
Why?
I just I have 5, and I'm like, well, that's enough. Done. Moving on.
5?
Well, it depends how
5 is
hungry I
nothing.
am. But let's say, no, if I'm going to have Pringles, it'll be after a sandwich or something. So the sandwich will do most of the filling up, and if there's a little tiny hole left, you just have a few Pringles just to proper fill that up, and then
What
you're
if you're at a
done.
party?
Oh, if you're at a party, it's different. Pop all night long.
So have you been up to anything else, Dan? Or is that...
No, that was
Those
it.
are your two...
That was...
They're pretty... The horse one is pretty insane.
It's freaky.
That is weird.
It is weird.
There's another game I saw came out recently called, I want to say Battleborn.
Yes.
What's that all about? I keep seeing it, and I keep getting it confused with Overwatch, because I think the covers in my head look similar.
I think it's a very similar type of game,
Okay.
from what I understand.
So why aren't more people talking about that? Because a lot of people seem to be talking
Because
about
I think
Overwatch. Is it not very
Overwatch
good?
was announced first,
Yeah.
and it's all a little bit... I don't know, I could be completely wrong, because I haven't really been paying attention to Battleborn.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I think it's a very similar game, and it's just, with Overwatch, you've got the fact that it's a Blizzard game.
Okay.
So I think it's just,
Fair enough. I mean, if we're going to talk about games, I've got Uncharted 4 on its way to me. Hopefully,
Boom.
will be delivered tomorrow. So that's me sorted for, I don't know, probably a month or so with gaming. Also, I didn't really want to talk about this on the podcast. I meant to discuss this before we started recording, but we're here now and deal with it. I've been playing Bloodborne recently.
Yeah.
It's man, it's really annoying me.
He doesn't like it, Dan.
Well, no, it's... see, the issue is... It is fun. It's
It is
definitely...
fun.
It's fun when you get stuff.
No,
But then
okay.
when you get hit by stuff, no, that's not fun.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, I find it fun, and I do not mind dying a lot. That's totally fine. What annoys me is when you die and you go back, everything's respawned, because it's like, I've already...
Yeah, but that's the point.
Yeah, I know,
That's
but that
the point
doesn't
of it,
make
Liam.
a game hard. Like, just having to do the same thing again and again and again...
No, but
doesn't
that is
make a
no.
game hard.
Okay,
Just makes
okay.
it
So the
boring.
logic behind them doing that and not just having enemies stay dead is that the whole point of Bloodborne is that like the space between you lighting one lantern and you lighting the next lantern, that is the challenge. It's can you complete this whole section? They're not dividing it into can you beat this individual enemy.
But we're so beyond that. That's like back when you had a NES and it didn't save and you had to complete
yeah,
the
but a
whole
lot
game
of
in one
gamers, a
sitting.
lot of gamers, Liam, miss that. Like I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily put myself in that category, but
I
a
missed
lot
it
of
quite a
people.
bit.
There you go. So
I
like
don't.
like so many people really enjoyed that old like it takes skill.
It doesn't. If I've already proven I have the skill to get past one point,
No, but
making
you
me then
haven't,
do it
'cause you-
another 10
'cause you-
times
if
doesn't
you keep
make me
dying,
more
Liam,
skillful.
You're clearly not getting past it.
No, right. Let me explain. I'm doing a level, okay? And let's say I die at the first bit, and then the next time I figure out where I went wrong and I get it right. So on this imaginary level, I've got past the first bit. I get to the second bit, I die. Fine. I go back. I now know what I'm doing on the first bit, so I do that again. I then figure out what I'm doing on the second bit. I die at the third bit. It's fucking annoying having to keep doing the first bit that I already know how to do, just to then get to the bit that I die on.
I get what you mean. But I don't know. It feels good though. When you make that progress, it feels really good.
Yeah, I killed the first boss without dying at all. May I add, I was very proud of myself.
That's quite impressive. Yeah.
That did feel good, but and like there's the next bit, which I think was the sewers or something. I was progressing quite far without dying. So then, when I did die, the thought of having to go back through everything I've already proven I can do was really annoying.
Well, by that point, you should really have had like other lanterns.
Well, no,
No,
like,
they're fun.
I think with the sewer there isn't a lantern. Like you're literally exploring that area, and then you come back round on yourself.
I didn't like
Yeah,
that.
I do sort of remember that.
It made me sad.
So
yeah,
I mean, there's a lantern right after you beat that first boss.
yeah, which I obviously got, and then from that lantern, I went into the sewers, and I got what I feel was relatively far.
Did you get hit by the
And-
pig?
Where?
The pig.
Oh, have you met the pig yet?
No.
Wait for the pig. The pig's fun.
Do you know what? I'll probably start playing Uncharted 4 and then forget about Bloodborne for ages.
Yeah, that's fair.
If I even
mean,
go back to it.
My only like final point on the whole Bloodborne thing would be that part of the challenge of it is collecting. You know how you're collecting the like essence or the souls or whatever,
The blood echoes.
blood echoes, and when you die, you leave them wherever you died, or something absorbs
Yeah.
them, and you have to kill that.
Yeah.
The thing, I think it's meant to be frustrating, and the reason you have to do it again is because like I know it happened to me at least once or twice, especially in that first area. Was like I'd beaten that first bunch of enemies you meet in the long road.
Yeah. The mob of them.
So many times, done that loads, knew how to get past them. Like died somewhere much further on, and then just randomly by bad luck, those enemies like got me in a loop where one of them hit me and then another one hit me before I could recover, sort of thing. And they killed me, so I didn't get my blood echoes back, and I had to turn off the game because I was so annoyed. But that was good because I was like, I don't know, it's enjoyable. Then later when you sort of get it back, you're like build back up to that point.
It doesn't feel enjoyable because you're just like, I've already proven that I can do this bit.
Well, I think you're wrong, Liam. So there we go.
But it's also hard when you accidentally stumble into like a boss area and you're like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah,
Time to
yeah.
die.
not gonna get anywhere with this.
Yeah.
Oh, this church looks quite cool. I wonder what's inside. Oh, I'm in a boss fight. Great.
Yeah. You know, I was hoping I would enjoy it a lot more. I think for me to actually enjoy it, it would just need more checkpoints, and I'd enjoy it a lot more. But that kind of goes against the whole point of the game,
Yeah.
I guess.
I think the gaming community has a term for what you are, Liam.
What's
Yeah?
that?
I think it might be that you're a filthy casual.
Yeah, I'm not a hardcore gamer at all.
Fair enough.
I play
Then
games to have
then
fun.
this definitely isn't the game for you.
Like, I like playing games on hard, but that's because I find playing them on hard fun. Equally, I like it when there's checkpoints.
What have you been up to this week, Liam, or these last 2 weeks?
Oh, I've been busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 2 weeks ago, I was sort of up nearish you, nearer than where I am now. I went and visited Woking.
What were you doing in Woking, Liam?
I'm pleased you asked, Jack. I went to see...
It's almost like we planned this before.
I went to see a little man you might have heard of, who goes by the name Derren Brown.
Ooh.
Who's he?
Now, for those that don't know, he's like a demon, essentially.
Okay.
He does
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
mind tricks and stuff. I don't even know how to describe what he does. It's ridiculous.
Illusions and...
Yeah, it's just... So, yeah, we went to see him. Myself and Kat, regular listeners, they'll know who she is. Newcomers, go back, listen to our Valentine's Day episode, find out, educate yourselves. We went to see him at Woking Theatre, I don't know the name. We've been there, Jack, haven't we?
We did, yeah.
We went to see the producers there on like a little mandate. It was lovely. Yeah. It was like... So he says at the beginning, don't tell anyone what happens in the show, so that's going to make it real hard to talk about.
I kind of don't want you to, then.
Did you have to sign a NDA? Or was it NDA?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
So I could legally talk about it. It would just be a shame to spoil it for anyone.
Yeah, I feel like you shouldn't talk about it, like what actually happened.
No, but
were you impressed by it?
Oh yeah, it totally. There was stuff in it that just blew my mind, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Yeah.
It was.
Did you get a chance
really
to
good.
go on stage?
I didn't.
Did Kat?
Kat didn't. Like there was a lot of people.
You made it sound like one of you did.
Well, so one of the themes of the show, like I don't know if have you seen any of his previous live shows?
Yes.
There tends to be the first half will be him just talking through different things and showing stuff, right? That's impressive, like mind over matter kind of things. And then the second half tends to have a bit of a theme. So like there was a really good one he did a while back that was all about the fraud around exorcisms and stuff.
Yes.
Which I thought that was a really good show. I'd love to have seen that live. This one was more about the fraud when it comes to, particularly in America, stuff like faith healing.
Oh, okay.
So there was a moment where if you had any ailments, you could go to the stage, but neither me or Kat at the time was suffering from anything.
Did he not cure being a miserable git then?
It had to be like, more physical than mental.
Oh, okay.
But I think our listeners would say that I'm pretty delightful. So, I mean, the ones that particularly that don't listen to every single episode.
Yeah, the ones that have only listened to this episode will say, "Oh, Liam's lovely."
Yeah.
Pretty top-notch guy.
I do want to talk about one thing that happens in the show, though.
Oh, okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, there is.
What if something happens to you right now?
Oh, man.
Well, then that's going to make recording the rest of this episode real difficult. I don't understand the question, Jack.
Well, like, because he might have put, like, mind
Curse.
magic on you.
He probably
Put a spell
has.
on you.
It's
What if you
whatever.
tell us something and it doesn't even happen in the show?
Do you know what? I'm going to risk it.
Okay.
Oh,
There's a
You're a
bit where
brave
he gets
man.
the whole audience to participate, and I won't tell you how, but part of it is you have to imagine, like, your best self. Okay? So, both of you, just, like, I'll
Okay.
pretend I'm Derren Brown. So
Okay.
he'll be like, close your eyes,
Okay.
Yep.
and then picture you're looking in a mirror, but picture it's the best possible you looking back.
Like, what, wearing things? Or just... generally
However you would
personality-wise?
imagine the best you to be.
Okay.
And
Is
then,
yours wearing a top hat with a raven on it, Dan? Because mine is.
No. I've been
okay.
told to buy a fez.
Oh.
I think that would suit
I
you.
might do that.
So, and then he goes on a long spiel about, I don't know, running down the beach or something, and this best you kind of approaching you, and I don't know. It gets weird. But
You're just like Derren Brown.
It's
You're like
identical.
Right now, I feel like I'm being hypnotised.
well, that is how I felt. The issue came when I imagined my best me, and I think this says a lot more about me than it does about the show. I imagined Zac Efron.
Okay.
I mean, that's weird because he isn't you, Liam.
I know.
I feel like that's the first issue.
I think he's who I want to be,
Right.
and that's where like that worries me. That in my head, the best possible version of me is another person.
That is a bad sign.
Like that, I don't know. I mean, if we could, role play now where you be some sort of therapist, I might find that quite helpful.
Well, you're lucky, Liam, because my best version of me is a therapist.
Hey, your best version of you and my best version of me would go well in a film together. I feel.
They would.
But yeah, it was a really good show. I didn't think much of Woking, I'll be honest. Like, we had a little wander around and sort of scoped out the area. We walked up and down a canal like 4 times.
A canal?
Yeah.
So listeners, me and Dan have a friend who lives in Woking who's probably listening to this. Hi, Tom. And
Shout out to Tom Hogan!
We go up and visit him a fair amount, and I've never seen a canal.
Yeah,
No,
it's
I
really
haven't.
close. You know where the entrance to the theatre is?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
I don't
Yeah,
know. Where's the
if-
theatre?
it's do you know where the cinema is, Dan?
Maybe.
It's
Okay,
in the
ignore
top
me.
of that shopping centre, but it's
Oh,
near
okay,
there,
yes,
isn't it, Liam?
yeah, gotcha.
The theatre.
Right, so the outside of the entrance to the theatre, right? One
Yeah.
way, you could walk and you get to all the shops and stuff.
Yep.
If you go to the other way, there's a road. It's like a big dual carriageway. If you go across that road, there's like a lights that let you cross. Literally, right next to the road is a canal.
I've never been further than Toys R Us, like around that bit.
Yeah, that
And I've
usually
never
stops Dan.
never crossed the road. Yeah, Burger King and Toys R Us are on the.
No, I guess well, we were
inside.
staying at a Premier Inn, and like to get into town, the quickest way was to kind of walk up a canal. Also, while walking up the canal, there was a really like strange little like poster that someone just printed and put up there, like just paper. It wasn't laminated or nothing. It said missing bag, £200 reward,
Wow,
and
how
it
much
said
that
something like
bag
important. It might have said important documents inside, or I might have just imagined that bit because I was like, why would someone pay £200 for their missing bag if there wasn't important documents inside?
Yeah, that is quite the reward.
Yeah, it was, and it was like a very like unassuming looking bag as well.
It could have been like a fancy. Well, okay, fine. I was about to say it could have been like a real fancy one.
It
But-
really wasn't. No, it was very. It was a weird thing to find like next to a canal.
It was a Sainsbury's 5p bag.
No, it was like a rucksack type of bag.
I've lost my Sainsbury's bag.
It's
got a lot of personal meaning.
It had £200 worth of shopping in it.
But yeah, so yeah, Woking wasn't that impressed by it.
I like Woking.
It's okay. It's not a bad place. I like it.
I honestly was like really underwhelmed.
I mean, what were you expecting?
Yeah.
To be fair, Dan, Liam does live in the countryside.
But like, I don't know. It's got a good variety of shop.
Yeah, but like it didn't have a comic book shop. It just had like a comic section in Waterstones, which that it wasn't very good. It didn't have like anything special about it. There was like I was told that Woking was quite a buzzy place to be.
Who told you that?
My mum.
Yeah, right. Well, there we go.
And it didn't feel particularly buzzy to me. It just felt, I don't know, like we went to find somewhere to eat, and I couldn't find anywhere particularly special, so we just ended
Burger
up
King.
in a
The Burger King's
Carluccio's.
really good there, Liam.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
don't
top-notch.
do fast food because my body is a temple.
You're trying to be Zac Efron, damn it.
Exactly. Do you think he eats at Burger King? Hell no. So yeah, we went to Carluccio's.
Where?
Carluccio's?
God, Jack, we need to change what we do in Woking.
Apparently we're missing like most of Woking.
Our usual trips are Toys R Us, Sainsbury's,
Sometimes Greg's.
yeah, Subway, maybe.
Yeah, I think there's a whole other side to Woking that you're passing
Yeah,
by.
we are missing out on a bit. Okay.
But like, so the whole point of us going is we were thinking of maybe if we were to ever move, we would want somewhere a bit closer to London, and Woking fits that bill. But we would also want somewhere where there's stuff to do in the area, and I was very unimpressed with Woking's.
But what kind of stuff do you want to do though? Like, what I do you know? I think Woking's pretty good.
I would like to do stuff like
Rock
tabletop
climbing.
games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, somewhere where I
see,
can meet
if you
like-minded
moved,
people.
if you moved up to Woking, Liam,
Yeah.
or somewhere closer to London, then instead of having to go to like a comic book shop to do that, you could, hang out with me and my friends who like tabletop games, and then you could join this group.
Yeah.
They wouldn't accept
We'll
you.
have to
I'm
get your
sorry.
No.
CRB checked though.
Yeah,
Oh, I've done
Make
that
sure
before.
you're- Well, we got to get a new one.
yeah. You didn't tell us. You didn't just say if you passed or failed. You just said it had happened. So.
Yeah, I didn't end up working there. So yeah, I did that, and then this weekend, I don't know if either of you participated, but it was Free Comic Book Day.
I missed out. I
I missed out as well.
really upset that I missed out on it. Well, was it? Was it yesterday?
Saturday.
Ah,
So
Yeah, I think the actual day was
7th
Friday or
of May.
Thursday last week, and then a lot of the shops did it on Saturday because
Yeah.
people can't do that because it's the middle of the week.
yeah. The issue is like I would have had to come out to London.
Yeah,
well, I mean, the thing is, I for a long time I was a bit sniffy about the area where I'm currently living. I didn't. So basically, where I live, for those that don't know, it's like a place where old people go to die,
yes,
and I'm here. And
that's because you're old.
I'm older than you, but I'm not like on death's door just yet.
Well,
Now, in the local town, a place called Chichester, they've opened up a comic book shop, which they opened, I think, late last year. And suddenly, this place is now the hip and happening place to be.
I don't think it is.
What, Chichester or the shop?
Specifically the shop.
Okay.
Although...
And by the place to be, Dan, I've been there with him, and there's been usually about 5 or 6 people in there, so it's happening for the countrriside.
Well, hang on. The free comic book day, it was absolutely rammed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it
That's
was...
because they went to their free comics.
Yeah, exactly. There was loads of people in there. Also, just down literally a 5-minute walk away, there's a place called a Patisserie Valerie. I don't know if you London folk have that.
Yeah, we do.
That was where I had the tiramisu.
Yeah, we spoke about this on the Blab Lib.
Yeah, they do strawberry tarts, which are amazing.
Oh,
So,
sounds good.
anyway, free comic book day. I picked up Dark Lily and Friends, March, the Boom Studios 2016 Summer Blast, which has things like the Lumberjanes in it, Adventure Time, Mouse Guard, The Cloud, and Goldie Vance. Also, if you haven't read the Lumberjanes and you like stuff like Adventure Time, would super recommend.
I'll write that down.
Young Terrorists I picked up. I haven't read any of them yet because I'm still reading Preacher. I'm just about to start book 4.
Oh, fair enough.
Book 2, I think we've discussed on the podcast before. I said it wasn't as good as book 1. Book 3, much better.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, free comics. It was awesome. It was delightful. Also, what else is good about the comic book shop is I'm now in part of a D&D gang.
Don't call it a gang.
What do you call it?
A group.
Group. So we frequent there every other week, and it's a jolly good time.
That's probably quite cool.
It really is. I've made 4 friends.
Was this because I remember you talking about playing. There was those kids and
that was
Barbara?
that was the intro to D&D session that we went to.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they picked out
So it's
the
the same place,
best
right?
players.
Well, no. Let's not say it like that, Jack, because it makes it sound really arrogant and up myself. They just collated a group of 5 players from all of the intro sessions, and that's now my D&D gang group.
Is your character Zac Efron?
I wish. No, my character is a warlock called Garth. He has quite a tragic backstory, to be honest, but if we go into that, Jack will get mad. Jack probably is already seething at the fact that I called him Garth, to be honest.
No, Jack's fine.
Oh, Garth.
Not if this was in Jack's world, it wouldn't be fine.
No, it would be.
So, that's what I did last weekend. So, Jack, what did you do last weekend?
Well, Liam, since we did our last episode, I went to my grandparents' 60th wedding anniversary.
60th. Wow.
Yeah.
When did they get married?
60 years ago.
No. Yeah. Cheers. Thank you. I meant more age.
That's a good question.
You're a rubbish grandchild.
How old are they now, Jack?
Yep, got that one.
Yeah?
Are you texting
70
Molly?
something, maybe 80.
Right, if they were 70 something, they got married when they were 10 something.
I think they maybe got married when they were 20, so let's say 80.
Okay.
Ish.
I feel like
Oh,
if they were
that's pretty
80, they'd have probably had a pretty big birthday party for that.
My granddad is 80. We went to his 80th. Boom, I remember that.
Well done.
Only because the place we went to, I kept getting told that that's where we went for his 80th, so now it makes sense. But yeah, no, it was, we went to some, fancy golf club, which was very
fitted
nice.
right in.
Oh, I did. To be fair, I remember last time we went, I wore suit trousers and a suit jacket that I'd worn to my, A-level prom. But this time, me and the cousins got together and all agreed that we would turn up in dark jeans and just a shirt.
Oh, I was expecting
We looked
boy
fancy.
band costumes or something.
Nope.
Like a group or something.
Well, like Boyzone, we all turned
Yeah.
up with bleach blonde hair.
Could have kind of. Was it NSYNC? Who had Justin Timberlake? You could have had cornrows in your hair.
Was
We
that
could've.
was that NSYNC with JT?
I don't know.
I'm sure it
asking the wrong
was.
person, I've
I'm
got
sure
no
it
idea.
was.
But yeah, we went there and, had a lovely meal. I maybe got drunker than anyone else because I like to think in my family, the way I pictured it, I like when you hear about families and they always talk about that black sheep one, the one that sort of goes off and does...
The ugly duckling.
Yeah, I sort of have deliberately assumed that role in my family. I've sort of taken the bullet so that my brother and sister and my cousins, they can sort of do whatever they want because it'll always be
At least they're not as much of a fuck up as you.
Yes, but I'm the lovable fuck up.
You can embrace it.
To my family, I'm not talking about to you, Liam.
I love
But
you.
yeah, if you embrace it, you get to enjoy it. I like getting drunker than everyone else. I wasn't I'm making it sound like I was a complete state.
Blacked out.
I mean, I just had double the amount of wine. That
I'm
everyone else
picturing you sort of sat there, like already drunk by the time they bring out your main, just crying. being like, everyone is here with the other halves, and I'm here. This steak loves me, don't you? And the steak just looks up at you and doesn't answer.
I didn't have steak, Liam. I had salmon.
Oh, that's quite
So-
sophisticated for you.
What?
Yeah, everyone was shocked that I had salmon, which
Like-
I thought
I'm
was
shocked.
slightly odd.
Cold, like smoked salmon, or like an actual
No,
cooked
there was a
salmon?
smoked salmon starter that was an option. I didn't go for that.
You
But
got
it was
all
like a
salmon.
salmon fillet. Salmon
What did you have
Yeah,
for
yeah.
starter?
Oh,
I had
that
a
sounds good.
stuffed mushroom.
Do you
It
know?
was really good.
I only like stuffed mushrooms. Mushrooms on their own taste like crap. But
Yeah,
stuffed
mushroom by
ones taste
itself.
so good.
Not good. But yeah, this one was like stuffed with Stilton and bacon, so it was fucking delicious.
Great.
What did you
Yeah.
have for pudding?
I had
Salmon.
No, I went for like a strawberry cheesecake.
Oh, that's dangerously close to fruit.
Yeah, well, I sort of regretted it because my sister, who was sitting next to me, had gone for like some treacle tart, and I always picture treacle tarts as like, you know, when you picture like a jam tart, like a very thin pastry.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I was picturing the treacle tart being, but it was like a fucking cake.
Yeah, it's
Are you
quite.
ju-
It's like a
Oh, yeah,
spongy
it's-
thing with treacle
Yeah, I'm
inside.
an idiot. I didn't
yeah,
realise.
you are. You
They
heard
are
it here
really hot.
first.
But it wasn't that good. I had some of it. We agreed we'd share. I had a little bit, and I was like, "Nah, it's not that good. Don't worry about it."
They can get really hot if you're not careful. Like when you microwave them and you eat them too quick.
I'll be honest, Dan. I don't think that this establishment was microwaving it.
You never know.
Well, they
That's true, I don't.
But I assume it was hot.
It was. I assume they cooked it though.
Yeah. So yeah, that still means it could have burnt you.
Do you know
Okay,
if you
well.
microwave something, it is still technically cooking?
Yeah, but I don't think I don't think the fancy golf club were microwaving the meals.
Everything was
Dan,
microwaved.
I have a quick
Yeah,
question
sorry.
for you.
Yeah.
Do you spend as much time doing family stuff with your family as Jack does with his? Because I feel like my family maybe don't like me or something, because we do not do half as much family time as Jack seems to do.
Yeah, I'm a wrong person to talk to. Oh, I do a lot. Yeah, a lot. Like I've got my. It used to be we would almost go. So before all my cousins went to uni, almost every Sunday we would go around my nan's for a roast.
Oh, it's just my family that don't like me then. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's only you, Liam.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would have the
Liam's
whole
mum
family.
bought a dog when he went away to uni, and he's allergic to dogs.
Yeah.
What?
It was almost like she did it deliberately.
Oh man.
Yeah. Because like whenever Jack talks about his family, I'm just like, well, you know, like to me, family time is like lots of allergies and sneezing, so it doesn't sound fun ever. But Jack's always like, yeah, we had a really good time and we got drunk. And I'm like,
But it kind of like I bet you're like the issue being as much as I love my family and stuff, but because I kind of saw them so often, Christmas kind of just felt made no difference because it was just like another Sunday lunch, which happened almost every week. So kind of Christmas didn't feel as special as it could be. Like your Christmas is probably quite great because you only see your family.
no, I
No,
literally
okay,
just spend
fine.
Christmas with my mum, and we don't do anything with any of the other family members.
Okay,
Like
fine.
to the point where we like my mum sends her other half to his family on Christmas, so it is literally just us and the dog.
See, I think the thing is, right, I think I do quite a lot of family stuff, but I don't, my grandparents live in Dorset, so they're very far away from me, so I don't see them that often. And, like, I do a lot of stuff with my close family, like my parents and my brother and sister, but seeing my actual, like, extended family is a lot rarer.
Yeah.
So I don't do that much, and then I enjoy seeing them, so that's always a bonus.
Like I think the last time I saw a lot of my extended family was I think 2 years ago now.
Fair enough. I mean, some of the people that were at this thing I hadn't seen for probably 2 years.
Yeah. But it's probably going to be a good few more years before I see them again.
The thing with family, like, events that I find strange is there are, like, because this was also friends and family, so there were people there that remember me, like, my nan's cousin, like, he was like, oh, you must be Jack. I remember you being this high, and held his hand up, you know, like a foot off the floor. And I was like, I have no idea who you are.
Yeah.
Did you say that to him?
No, because he seemed very nice, and I didn't want to upset him.
Oh, okay.
Like, all my family are quite nice. I don't want to upset them. But there were quite a few people. There was also a point where someone was talking to me, and it came... Like, I don't know if they did, but it definitely seemed like they had no fucking idea who I was. And I was like, I am the grandchild...
Do they not listen to Nerd on Nerd?
Well, I guess not, Liam.
Jack, you should be wearing like a Nerd on Nerd shirt.
You should. Well, even better is you should be playing the Nerd on Nerd episodes while you're all there, like, dining in
Oh,
silence.
yeah, I'm sure they would have loved that.
Yeah, particularly, any episode where I talk about my body bits for a long time.
But yeah, no, that's what I did. That's, whatever.
Was it fun?
Yeah, I enjoyed myself.
Did you meet any ladies?
No, it was my
Well,
family.
then it was pointless.
Fine
The
old ladies.
waitresses
Yeah?
were quite attractive.
Did you get any of their numbers?
No,
Why not?
because it's me.
Good answer.
But see, is that the right place?
No,
to
see,
be
I don't
doing
think
it
that is the right
as well?
thing, Dan,
Like,
at all. Yeah.
congratulations, Nan and Grandad, on your wedding anniversary.
And I'm about to make this a night to remember. Me and Susie the waitress will be back in 5.
Yeah, no, it's a weird place to try and hook up with the ladies.
When you think about it, like just trying to hook up with ladies in general is a weird thing to do.
No.
What counts as a good time to do it?
Funerals.
But I mean, like, if you're on a train
Yeah.
and you see someone, do you...
I think that's a weird place as
This
well.
is the
Yeah.
issue that I think I had when I was a single man, and I think Jack maybe has now, but he can confirm, is if you ever see a nice looking lady anywhere, I always feel like me approaching and doing anything is probably going to ruin their day or night.
Yes.
So probably best just to not.
Just leave them be.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
let them enjoy their life.
They're happy, and then I get to imagine the scenario in my head where I did go over and they were very receptive to it, so I'm happy.
Do you imagine that scenario? I don't think I ever picture that scenario.
I find it a little bit weird. Like,
I'm
if you
quite
were to do that
arrogant.
as well.
So I just
That's true, you are.
I
Okay.
picture
Think of
that it
Zac
goes
Efron.
well.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, that's true. Liam is like, in Liam's head, there's no possibility that you should ever reject him.
Here's the thing, I don't think Zac Efron is arrogant.
Yeah, that's why he's the ideal version of you.
Yeah,
because in that
he's-
situation, you've already reached the pinnacle that is Zac Efron.
It's time for everyone's favourite bit. Liam went to the cinema, and here's his spoiler-free reviews of the films that he saw at the cinema.
I should
It's
have
only
like,
Liam's
I should
favourite
have
bit.
like a clacker, like, to swing in my hand.
That would have been
Like
awesome.
a football clacker.
So, do you want me to start with the Zac Efron one then?
Do it.
I saw Bad Neighbours 2. Has anyone here seen Bad Neighbours 1?
Yeah.
Also, in America, it was just called Neighbours.
Yeah,
Really?
why is that?
Because I think there was worry that if, for some reason, if they released it under Neighbours over here, us simple Brits would get confused and would think it was a movie of the popular Australian daytime soap.
Oh, man, that would have been fantastic.
I wish they would do a movie about that.
Ooh, only if Toadie's like the sort of lead.
Yeah, obviously.
And bring Margot Robbie back, because seeing more of her can't
Was
hurt.
she in Neighbours?
Yeah, that's what... oh, wait. Or was she in Home and Away? Fuck, I got my Australian soaps mixed up.
You're thinking about Holly
Liam.
Valance.
Oh, Holly Valance, yeah, she was Neighbours. Good shout. Anyway, Bad Neighbours 2, not as good as the first one, but still pretty good. Like, Zac Efron, absolute dreamboat. He was fantastic. Rose Byrne, I thought was funnier in this one than she was in the first. That's
I
not
like
to say
her.
she wasn't funny in the first, but they kind of like looked at the first, figured out what she did well in that one, and then they did like a bit more of it in this one, but not in an annoying way. And also it has Chloë Grace Moretz in it, who is in a bikini, and therefore, I have to say, smoking hot.
Do you take a notebook in when you go to watch films?
No, I write notes afterwards,
Okay.
but I forgot to this week, so this is all just coming out of my head.
You've also got to factor in the fact that Liam is a robot.
What?
The fact that you're a robot, Liam.
Why?
How are you only... I've called you this, I feel like most
Yeah, no,
episodes
normally
I've
it's to
accused
do
you of
with,
being a
like,
robot.
not having emotions, but I don't understand how it ties in here.
What? Because a robot would be able to picture the film perfectly afterwards, Liam.
Oh, right, okay, fine.
I don't feel like I should have to explain how robots work.
I feel like you're trying to sidetrack me off of my review of Bad Neighbours 2, which I gave 3 out of 5.
Oh, man.
That's a worthy score.
I would have expected like a
Dan,
4.
you don't... I assume you haven't heard the controversy that surrounds mine and Liam's rating systems.
Like, do you start at 5 and then knock it down? Or is it
No,
something
every
like
movie
0 and you keep
every
knock it out?
movie starts at 3 out of 5, which is the average. If it delights me, it goes up. If it saddens me, it goes down.
What happens if it's a sad film?
Well, if it's like deliberately sad, then it goes up because they're doing what they're meant to do
Okay.
well. But if it just saddens me because it's bad or boring, then it'll go down. Anyway, I also saw Demolition. Have we seen the trailers for that?
I saw the trailer for it.
No.
Well done.
What is it? Tell me, please.
Jack, explain the trailer.
Okay.
So in the trailer, you might have
See,
seen it and just
This
not
is how we
realised it.
incorporate each other.
It's
Thanks,
Jake,
Liam.
it's Jake Gyllenhaal, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in the trailer. It opens with him writing a letter, I think. Is it a letter, Liam?
It is a letter, yes.
He's writing a letter to a vending machine company, and it's like, he's like, today I tried to get something out of your vending machine, and it got stuck, and I couldn't get it. I will admit I was having a bad day because my wife had just died. So it's like him, from the looks of the trailer, it's him not... He knows that he should be sad, but he's like been so fucked up by it that he's not feeling anything.
Yeah, it is essentially a sort of a look at his way of handling grief. I think one of the themes of the trailers is his wife's dad used to say, if you wanted to figure out how something worked, you'd have to like tear it all apart to see how all of the individual components work together, kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was delightful, like really good movie. It surprised me. It resisted from ever becoming too formulaic. It has Naomi Watts in it, who plays like the head of the customer service department for the vending machine company. So she's the one that's getting his letters.
So wait. The whole story is that kind of communication.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
And him, sort of how he deals
How he's
with
dealing with it, okay.
that as well. Really good. I'd say 4 out of 5. Would definitely recommend.
Okay.
Then there's a movie I know Jack saw at the cinema. I don't know if you did, Dan.
Yeah, I saw it with Dan.
Well, then that's very good.
film?
Captain America: Civil War.
We're going to do a spoiler-free review on this show, but if our listeners would like to hear our full thoughts on Civil War, we released an episode on Monday, which for you guys will be
Last Monday.
a week ago. So go and find that.
I will say,
Please.
bear with it.
I didn't like that Samuel
the
Jackson
first-
died.
The first half of our episode where we reviewed Civil War, I'll admit, is pretty boring. We just basically tell you the plot, and
We
that was
fucked it
our
up,
bad.
guys.
Like we'll fix that in future episodes. Don't worry about it. You don't have to write in angrily or tweet us because you probably wouldn't anyway, would you? You little...
Jesus Christ, not again, Liam.
But stick with
should
it. The
have
last
PO box.
half of the episode is way better because we have like arguments and discussions and debates, and it all gets a little bit heated. But it's all fine. We love each other, really.
We do. This is the one episode where I feel like if people were to just randomly listen to it, they'd be like, why do these two people that clearly hate each other do a podcast together?
Yeah, that is how it sounds.
Yeah.
So, spoiler-free review. I thought for a Marvel movie, it did what you would expect a Marvel movie to do, and it did it well.
How many stars did you give it, Liam?
3.5 out of 5, which is a very generous score.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
it was, wasn't it? I really liked it.
yeah, it was really good. It gave you exactly what you knew you were going to get before you even went into the film.
We're not having this discussion on this one,
But it
Liam.
also introduced Black Panther and Spider-Man, but without going into too much detail.
Yeah,
Like,
it did
obviously,
do
we
that
all know
really
who
well.
Spider-Man is, so we didn't have to worry about that. But the
Yeah.
Black Panther stuff, I'm actually really looking forward to the Black Panther film more than I was because they kind of done him in a nice way.
Do you know who's directing that?
No,
It's a guy, I
Danny
believe,
DeVito.
called Ryan Coogler, who directed Creed, if you've seen that.
I haven't seen Creed. No.
It's really good.
Hmm.
4 out of 5. But yeah, I thought they handled the introductions of the new characters well, and also they handled just like one of my issues with Avengers: Age of Ultron is I really like the scenes where it's just all of the Avengers talking, and I wasn't such a fan of all the action stuff. And I felt like Civil War, you got a lot more scenes of just them talking,
Yeah.
which I liked. There was one really good action scene, but again, I won't spoil it. But I'm just happy when Robert Downey Jr. is just talking with anyone in these movies, and there was a lot of that in Civil War. So, how does Captain America: Civil War for you two compare to Batman vs Superman?
Well, listeners who've listened to either special will probably be able to figure that. Well, anyone that
both of
listened
the
to the
specials.
Batman vs Superman special will realise that I thought this was a much better movie.
I think Civil War was a lot better, but I still stand by that I did really enjoy Batman vs Superman. I did just enjoy a lot of the building up in Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
I would say obviously Civil War's better, but I would put them pretty close.
Okay. For me, Batman is better than Civil War,
Okay.
but that's because it surprised me and Civil War didn't.
The only, like, not in a, like, oh, it's better because of this, but the main thing that I thought Civil War did better was the way the way Civil War has built up to the coming films with Spider-Man and Black Panther I thought it was done in a much smoother way than
Yes.
the Batman vs Superman Justice League shit.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
What-
because
and-
that felt so we're cramming it in, whereas this felt like very, smooth
Organic.
and like
The
it's
other
part of the
thing
film.
I would like to say, which is in praise of Civil War, is unlike with Batman vs Superman, I felt like with Civil War it did a real good job of explaining where the two central characters' arguments were coming from.
Yes, yeah,
Whereas I think in Batman vs Superman that was a little bit muddied.
yeah, it's slightly unclear.
Yeah, and also we didn't have any let's stop beating each other up because we have the same mother's name. It's fine as long as Jack cuts this bit where I say about. That's pretty much the only big spoiler.
Yeah, fair enough. I might just leave it in now so that you get loads of hate mail.
No,
Bleep
that'd be
it.
really
Just
mean.
bleep it.
I could beep it. We haven't done beeps before.
Or use the Inception horn.
I'll add echo, reverb, and a beep.
Oh.
What would we all give Civil War out of 5? Have we done that?
You did. I don't think me and Dan did.
I'd
I'd give it a 4.5.
I'll give it a 4.
4. That's a
But
solid.
I don't know
That's
what I would give a 5 though.
Die Hard.
Die Hard is a 5.
Yeah.
The Room is a 5.
Yep. Stand by Me is a 5. Breakfast Club 5. Spinal Tap 5. There's loads.
I'm trying to think now on the spot. I can't think of any films.
Pitch Perfect.
What's perfect?
I said Pitch Perfect.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, just continue. I can't. I'll butt in later on when I remember.
good.
Well, I think it would be good if you could think of what you would give a 0 and what would give it a 5, and then that will allow people to understand where your scale how
I
that
can't
works.
even think of a 5 though. I can't even think of
I mean,
Oh, okay,
Grease.
fine.
That's a 5.
I would put. Oh no, I would put Wall-E as a 5.
Okay,
That's fair. That's a good film.
I haven't seen it.
Oh man, it's really really good.
Star Wars. That trilogy.
Star Wars
5.
would have to go down for me at the moment, only because they were on Sky recently playing all of them constantly back to back, and whenever I came home, Rowden was watching them.
Okay.
So I saw a lot of that recently. I don't know what a 0 would be.
Lord of the Rings trilogy. They're all 5s.
I don't know if they're all 5s.
I would
For
put
me,
them
they are.
maybe 4.
Fellowship might be lower than the others.
Fellowship's my favourite.
Really?
Yeah. It goes Fellowship, then Two Towers, then Return of the King.
See, I think it depends how you see them. 'Cause I was with you, Jack, right? We saw all 3 of them in the Prince Charles Theatre in London,
Yes, yeah.
and that was really good. Like watching them
That
as a
was
marathon.
really good. Seeing them all together is really good.
But individually, I would kind of be a bit meh. Yeah.
Dark Knight. That's a 5 for me.
Okay.
A 0, just to maybe help. I'd say Fantasia. Fucking hate that movie.
Oh man, I have not seen that in ages. I saw it as a kid on video.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Same.
It is
I think
terrible.
it used to freak me out.
Yes, yeah. Because it's fucking weird.
It's fucking boring, is what it is. Don't get me started.
Do you know? Okay, I got a 0, but again, this is mainly down to personal. How many times I saw it. The Cat Returns.
Was that you went on holiday with our friend Scott and his sister made you watch it
Every day.
forever?
Good couple of times a day.
What's it about?
It's a
It's
cat.
Studio Ghibli, isn't it? Or is
This
it?
Yeah, I think it is. Pretty sure it is.
I'll check that.
So this girl ends up. There's a cat. She saves a cat basically from getting hit by a car. I think it is. And
Hang on, wait. I've just looked it up on IMDb. After helping a cat, a young girl finds herself involuntarily engaged to a cat prince. How is that a 0? That sounds delightful.
well, like I said, it's due to personal watching it a good couple of times a day for a week, which
Okay.
is why I dislike it. It was good. I do enjoy it. I would watch it again, but yeah.
Yeah, being forced to watch anything 2 times a day for a week will.
Yeah.
More than twice.
Deaden it to
It
you.
was a good couple of times. It was. Oh yeah.
Did either of you, as a kid, have a movie that you watched every day for a long time? There was a summer where every day, at least once, I would watch The Page Master.
Oh man.
I don't know what the Page Master is.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He goes into this library during a storm. Christopher Lloyd is the librarian.
Oh holy cow.
Yeah, and it all something weird happens. I can't remember exactly what. The ceiling starts dripping, and it all goes
Yeah.
animated, and he goes through all these different book genres.
Holy
Oh,
cow.
okay.
I would fully recommend watching it.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic film.
Fair enough. But no, I don't think I had one that I did that with, really. I know that I watched the Disney films a lot,
Yeah,
but I don't think it wasn't every day.
I watched Bugsy Malone a fair
I've never
few
seen that.
times. It's
Bugsy
really
Malone's good.
Do you know? I wish they would remake it, but again, remake it. If they were to remake it, actually do it good. But then I can't really say much with I can't choose whether they'll make it good or not.
Yeah.
But it's a film which is absolutely fantastic, and it's got like Jodie Foster in it.
Yeah.
It's really good. I would recommend watching it.
It's on my list.
Yeah.
Those are the films that I saw at the cinema. Of course, this week I was joined in my cinema antics. Not literally, like they didn't actually come to cinema. They went to their own cinema, and I went to my own cinema. But we all went to the cinema and we saw a film.
You've already said this. You can't. What's happening?
I'm helping you, Jack.
You're not.
Also,
just ask me if we've had any fan correspondence.
Also, Jack, you recommended a film to me recently. Do you remember what film that was?
No.
Pitch Perfect 2. Let's do that bit again where you remember.
Okay.
Do you remember what film that was?
No.
Fuck's sake.
I remember.
Go on, Dan.
It was Pitch Perfect 2, Jack.
Correct.
Oh, yeah, of course.
2 out of 5. Very underwhelmed. Now, has any of our fans recommended anything to us this week, Jack?
No.
Well, I tried.
Why did you say that? They haven't.
Well, I tried.
You're really bad. Ask me if any fans have interacted with us, Liam.
Jack, have any of our fans interacted with us?
Yes, Liam, they have.
Holy shit, and blow me down.
It's from esteemed, page artist Tom Hogan, who listeners may know does our Twitter art.
We also did a shout out to him earlier in this episode.
We did. I mentioned, he's the one that lives in Woking. Hey, Tom, again.
Sup, thanks for the art.
He has sent us.
Well, one second
email.
before you. Tom, we've now got a YouTube channel, and we could do some more art for it because the current art that we've got is awful.
It's bad.
It's
I look
so
really
bad.
creepy in it.
Yeah. So if you could maybe just pop over to our YouTube channel. We don't have a custom URL yet, so just head over. Look at the current header art, and then just think, how could I make this better?
Which should be really fucking easy.
Yeah. If you could do that for us, that'd be delightful.
Yeah.
So all the other listeners that just had to listen to that very
good
personal
Lord.
message, sorry, the normal show will now resume.
So, Tom wrote into us, sent us an email, and he said, "Hi nerds. Firstly, I apologise for lack of art and general interaction. Work has been busy, and then I was on holiday. It's alright, Tom, we forgive you."
Lazy.
Dan doesn't. Then he said, "I thought I'd send an email and make up for it, and because I'm not sure 140 characters is going to cut it." He's right, it's a little bit of a long email, but we'll forgive him.
No, it's good. If more people
It
could
is.
send
No,
us
it is.
emails like this, then we'd have even more content for the show. And
actually,
as our listeners know, we struggle to hit our time limits.
Jack can't be bothered to read ahead in this email, so there could be spoilers. If there are, Jack might edit it later and beep them out. Civil War. I watched Civil War yesterday. I would like to state right now that I really enjoyed it and would rate it 4.5 out of 5 on my own personal arbitrary scale. Being so good, though, means I think I know exactly why I don't find it a 5 out of 5. But I'll briefly discuss the whole thing. The story was good and told well. I liked that personally I didn't really find either Tony or Steve to be wrong or right. I sympathised with them both equally. I also always like when movies merge characters, so really enjoyed all the superheroes together in one film. But, that being said, there's a small part of me that feels some of the characters were kind of just shoehorned in, particularly Ant-Man. I love Ant-Man and Paul Rudd and was happy to see him in the movie regardless, but it did feel like the film could have worked without him.
Oh, that
Might
is a
beep that
spoiler.
bit.
That's
Yeah,
a spoiler.
That's going to have a little beep in it. On the same kind of lines, I felt Tony going to a 15-year-old Spider-Man for help seemed more to just get him in the movie, but again, really liked the new Spider-Man. Lastly, the movie has made me scared, in a good way though, I guess. I feel uneasy that some of the Avengers are still not best pleased with Tony and won't be working together for a bit, but I guess I'll just have to wait and see what happens between now and when they ultimately become friends again to kill Thanos in a few years. Maybe. Probably. What do you guys think will happen between now and then? There's 2 more Infinity Stones to find, and the Avengers are divided. Are you looking forward to Doctor Strange? Anyway, as I said, 4.5 out of 5. Would see again.
So, to answer that question that he kindly asked, I'm curious about Doctor Strange. I wouldn't say I'm, eager. I'll go and see it, obviously, but if we were to think in, terms of anticipation, with comic book movies coming up, it would go Suicide Squad, then Doctor Strange, then X-Men Apocalypse.
I mean, I'm looking forward to Doctor Strange because one of your issues was the whole very formulaic Marvel films, and I think because Doctor Strange is an entirely magic based one,
Yeah. Doctor
could be
Strange
interesting.
could completely blow the doors open for Marvel. The issue is, it's going to be how they do it. Like, it will be interesting, and it shouldn't be formulaic, hopefully. But I don't want to predict how they're going to do it, because that would be foolish.
But it is also interesting that there are still more Infinity Stones. Did we see... we've seen Thanos in, like, after credit scenes.
Yeah.
Does he had his Infinity Gauntlet, didn't he?
Yeah, and I think the Age of Ultron credits.
Did it have a stone in it? Do we know?
I don't remember, mate.
Because he might already have one. Do we know that? Yeah, I don't know either. That's something to look into. Anyway, he writes a little... There's only a little bit left. He writes a little bit more, saying about Ren and Stimpy, which listeners will remember we are talking about this episode. He says, Ren and Stimpy. I have memories of finding Ren and Stimpy creepy as hell when I was young. Today I was surprised to find that at 25 years of age, Ren and Stimpy is still creepy as hell for some reason. Much love, your friendly neighbourhood Tomothy.
Thank you for that correspondence. We really appreciate it.
We do, Tom. Liam does sound sarcastic, but I believe that was him trying to be honest.
That was me. Like, I tried to switch my genuine button on, but I guess it didn't work.
No.
Hang on, I can do it again. Thank you, Tom, for your email. We really appreciate it.
It was fine at the beginning.
Yeah.
But you sort of dropped it at the end there.
Thanks, Tom, for your email. I super appreciate it.
I'll take one of the
again,
three.
It's the end.
I'll just cut them together, Dan.
Hang on. Thank you, Tom, for your email. I super appreciate it.
Nope, bad. Just say the bit, I super appreciate it.
I super appreciate it.
Now say it as if you're talking about a film that you really like.
I super appreciate it.
There we go.
Perfect.
Swap my culture time?
Swap my culture! Now it's time for culture swap. Dan, this time, we discussed this at the beginning, but, just to remind you, he recommended we do the first 6 episodes, so basically the entire first season.
Yeah, it's only 6 episodes.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't watch them all, but sure.
Yeah, of Ren and Stimpy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I loved it. I'm going to finish them and continue with them.
Liam?
No, right, here's the thing, okay? I think our listeners are going to be like, Liam's really moody whenever it's not something that he recommends they talk about. But that's not true.
I'm glad you've realised that people are going to start noticing that.
That's not true.
I've known that for a fucking while.
Fuck off, right? I didn't recommend Nailbiter, and I really enjoyed that.
Nailbiter.
Your girlfriend recommended Nailbiter.
Yeah, she operates outside of my control most of the time. I'm sure there's been other things that have been recommended that I enjoyed. The Santa Claus, I was pleasantly surprised by.
Oh, no.
What?
Yeah, the fact you enjoyed Santa Claus.
Yeah. He also watched 3 films as opposed to 1.
Oh my god, when are you going to shut up about that?
Never!
What did you not like about Ren and Stimpy then? Like...
Yeah, I'm interested in knowing that too.
I just feel like, when I was watching it, it made me feel really old, and like I just kind of didn't really understand it.
What?
Yeah, I just didn't get it.
What didn't you get? It's just for listeners that don't know.
It is an old animation.
It's an old animation.
It is.
But it's a kids cartoon that was made in 1991.
Yeah.
I would have been 4.
Yeah, me and Dan was 0 or possibly 1.
I would have been a couple of months.
Dan was a couple of months. I was probably 0. I was being born.
Would you not have been gestating?
When did it actually come out? I'm going to quickly check.
I'm pretty sure it was... Oh, actually, that doesn't help. I was about to say 2004, but that was when the DVD, I think, was that the remastered DVD came out.
It's 1991, but there's not a specific. August 11th. I was literally 6 days old.
Wow.
But yeah, so it's a kids' cartoon.
Yeah.
But the notable thing about Ren and Stimpy, I did a bit of research into it as well, and was having a little look. And the notable thing is that Ren and Stimpy is one of the first children's cartoons to break away from. So before that, you had the sort of traditional Looney Tunes and stuff, which were very much
Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, which were very much just aimed at kids. There was no.
Wait a second, wait. Tom and Jerry is very similar to it in a sense.
Well, yeah, there's that episode that really kind of heavily references it.
Well, that's true.
But the thing with Ren and Stimpy was that the guy that created it, John Crickfalusi, possibly,
if you say so,
he specifically was fed up with the sort of. He thought that a lot of kids' cartoons at the time were aimed, were made in a very sort of conformist way. I don't think that's the right way of saying it, but they were very dulled down. There wasn't a lot of filthy humour and kids playing in mud and being filthy, effectively.
Do they?
You thought those... Yes, Liam.
I mean, just because
children,
you
sorry.
did, I never
Sorry,
really
Liam,
liked
sorry,
being too dirty.
let me rectify that. Human children really like, sort of, being messy.
Kids like playing in the mud. They like making a mess.
They're describing it as off-colour humour. Violence. Yeah, alright, there's a lot of violence in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so in Tom and Jerry there was.
I think they really...
Yeah.
No, but there's not in the same way that there is in Ren and Stimpy.
Well, no, there's violence, but the Ren and Stimpy makes it a bit more. I don't know, with the sound effects, it's a lot. Well, I don't know, but
I really like the sound
But
effects.
okay, so here's...
We'll come back to that.
Here's what I'm thinking, right? With Tom and Jerry, there is violence and there's all that stuff, but it's not like dark violence. It's not weird and creepy and odd. It's very much like spit-shined violence. Like someone gets whacked on the head and gets a bump and they're like, oh, he's dizzy for
even
a
the
minute.
Looney Tunes, you think it like Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner? That's super violent.
Yeah, but it's not. But it's very polished violence.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not-
Yeah, I forgot about the bare knuckle boxing in Ren and Stimpy.
No, okay. So here's what it is, Liam. When Roadrunner runs through a painting and then Wile E. Coyote bumps into it, he gets a lump on his head and he looks at the camera and he shrugs and then he falls over. Right.
Sure.
In Ren and Stimpy, what happens when someone gets hurt is you get a horrifying close-up of their face contorting into disgusting features, and then their eyes, instead of weeping, their eyes slowly and horrifically just squirt out chunks of water. Like, Ren and Stimpy wasn't trying to be... It wasn't trying to be like... If a parent watched Ren and Stimpy, they weren't going to be like, oh, this is perfectly fine. It was a little bit more risque in terms of kids' cartoons.
Okay.
Yeah? Is that fair to say, Liam?
I guess, I wouldn't consider myself an expert in kids' cartoons, so...
Dan is. That's why we have Dan on the show. Dan, is that fair of me to say?
I would.
Yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. Like, it was the first one to really do that.
I think the thing is, I prefer the kids' cartoons now, where they're a little bit more thoughtful, and there's continuity to them, which you really don't get with Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, but it's not meant to... I feel like you've got to look at this objectively, for what it is.
I don't have to do anything.
You don't have to, that's true. I can't force you.
You can't hold him down.
He don't need no man.
No. I really liked the sound effects. I thought they were really good.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, the sound effects were the star of the show, really.
No, I think that was Ren and Stimpy, Liam.
No, I just...
It's a bit of classic Jack humour for
if you think, right, each episode is split into, 2 stories, if you will.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I've sat through 12 stories of this now, and I could barely tell you what happened in each one. Because they were just so almost irrelevant.
Okay. But that's kind of what kind of cartoons are supposed to kind of do, in a sense.
Yeah.
They take you out of...
Yeah, but I feel like I couldn't... I don't really have a handle on who Ren and Stimpy are as characters.
But again, I feel like you're trying to go too in-depth with it.
No, I'm not. You were the one earlier that was trying to read into it, all these deep layers and stuff. I'm trying to just take it on face value.
What Liam's referring to there, listeners, so that it doesn't come across that that's what I was trying to do, was I was talking about the fact that Ren and Stimpy has adult jokes and sexual innuendo in it.
Yeah, which does.
Yeah, it does. It
passed me by.
Let me just quote for you the Wikipedia article that I have opened for looking at the things. Throughout its run, the show was controversial for its off-colour humour, sexual innuendo, dark humour, adult jokes, and violence. Well, which is interesting, Liam, because it sounds like you're trying to say there wasn't that.
No, I'm not saying there wasn't that. I'm saying I didn't see that in it when I was watching it.
Well, that's because you're too innocent, buddy.
Exactly. One thing I did think of that I wanted to mention. So, did you both see the episode where they worked as fire dogs?
No.
I did, so that must have been episode 4.
I think that's the next one I need to watch.
Okay. There's a scene, right, where there's a woman up a big tower and she's dropping things and they've got to catch them, and one of the things she drops is a baby.
Yeah.
And it falls and it's giant and it squashes them. Now that made me think, did either of you ever play the Sega Mega Drive game Zombies Ate My Neighbours, I think it was?
No.
I didn't, but I know about it.
So good. One of the bosses is a giant a giant baby that you have to somehow destroy. And just watching that made me think of that game, and I had warm fuzzy nostalgia feelings.
Good.
Basically, I was bored watching these episodes and my mind wandered.
I disagree. I didn't particularly enjoy it. I'm not coming to this saying that I thought this was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I probably won't continue watching it.
Oh.
I definitely won't.
I didn't hate it. I didn't like, at the end of it, I wasn't like Liam is. I wasn't like, I didn't get this, I didn't understand it, and I don't like it.
Hang on. I didn't hate it, I just didn't like it. You cannot like something without hating it.
But like, there's plenty of other things like to enjoy about it. Like a lot of the reasons why I enjoy cartoons as well is the kind of the animation and knowing how much effort, especially with that time, how much effort went into animating it, and especially with the detail of some of the faces.
Yeah, that's kind of what annoys me about animation.
What?
It's a lot of wasted effort. I'm like, why didn't they just film this? It would have saved a lot of time.
Film it.
Liam is also very anti-animation.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Sorry, just film it with with babies dropping out of buildings, squashing a chihuahua and a cat.
Yeah, that'd be much better.
Did you notice that it was Billy West that voiced Stimpy?
I did. I don't know who he is, but I noticed it.
Fry in Futurama.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I looked at his IMDb and I saw he was in Futurama, but I didn't know who he was in it. Because I could have just carried on scrolling in IMDb to find that out, but...
Yeah, I imagine that's quite high up on his credentials.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I disagree with you, Liam.
Who was your favourite character, Ren or Stimpy?
Ren.
Really?
Yeah, I like Stimpy.
I like Stimpy.
Yeah, well, that's because you two are simpletons.
It's so much more relaxed.
I felt a sense of connection with Ren.
What, the angry chihuahua?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
A raging...
I watched it, and there was one point where I was like, if me and Liam were characters from this show, who would we be? And I was like, I would be Ren, and Liam would be Stimpy.
But this is the whole just between us again, where it's who's the Gabby and the Alison. Like, we're always going to be different, Jack.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing that we're different.
No, but why do I have to be the simple one?
Well, no,
the simple but lovable one.
It's
more
fine.
for the laid back, yeah.
Yeah.
Not because you're an idiot.
No.
You are, but not because of
I'm
that.
not. I think all of our listeners would agree to that.
Well,
at least some of them.
Maybe.
My girlfriend.
Yeah. After you tell her to say it.
Yes. I don't want to be a complete negative Nelly, so there was something that I did really like, and that was in between each of the main stories there would be a little animated advert or something, or a little skit, if you will.
Log and the cornflakes,
yeah,
or not frosted milk even.
Yeah, I really like those bits, particularly the log one.
Yeah, the log was great.
Yeah, I think Ren and Stimpy maybe would have worked better as very short skits instead of 10-minute long episodes.
But they're only 10 minutes.
I know, and even that felt long. You've got to be doing something wrong if 10 minutes feels long.
Yeah, but only you thought it felt long.
You know. Okay, so alright, let's be fair.
Yeah.
What was your favourite stories?
I really like all the space stories are really good.
Yeah, I watched the space one on the train on the way home.
That sounded like something a simple child would be. I like the space ones. They were really good.
I like the cat and mouse one actually, where they.
Oh, the Tom and Jerry one.
Which is the second part of the space one, I think. Where so Ren plays the mouse and then Stimpy plays the cat because he's a cat.
Yeah.
And especially the end bit where Stimpy puts Ren in his mouth and he's trying not to eat him, but all that detail of his mouth and munching him, and I love that. And all the sound effects as well.
There's I think there's one coming up where Ren gets ill and Stimpy has to look after him. I have a feeling you're going to like that.
Yes, that one is good. I think that was the one before where Stimpy's the nurse and
yeah,
I did like that
because there was a lot of close-ups and sort of.
I love those. Yeah, I love those detailed things. It's kind of another reason why I enjoy SpongeBob. Because they do those kind of cutaways sometimes where you have real big detailed things.
I've never seen an episode of SpongeBob.
Jesus Christ, Liam.
Sorry, I was too busy watching good things like Power Rangers and what was there was another one that was like Power Rangers, but they were all Beatles. So good.
They were all what? Beatles?
Yeah.
Beetleborgs.
Beetleborgs, that was banging.
Beetleborgs was good. Street Sharks?
Never saw that.
Oh my god, you guys were missing out.
What about
Hold on.
Sorry. Sorry, let me redo that. Liam,
Wasn't
you
it
were missing
animated
out.
though?
Yeah, it was. Liam would hate it.
Oh no, animated. I remember seeing it. I never actually saw it, but I've seen drawings of it.
I used to have a toy of the Great White Shark. He was awesome.
Did you ever see Biker Mice from Mars?
Yep. I loved Biker Mice from Mars.
So something else that came to mind when I was watching Ren and Stimpy, the credits, it would always have art or animation direction by someone, and then just general directed by. And it got me thinking, how does one direct a cartoon? So obviously when you direct a movie, you're sort of sat behind the camera and you're telling everyone what to do. But when you direct a cartoon, do you just say to someone, draw this for me?
So you have storyboards, don't you? So you have somebody who's kind of in in charge of obviously the direction of the story and how you want it to go, and then you have people who would storyboard those ideas. There's a really which is really cool is Adventure Time do their they publish their storyboards and they publish their character sheets, and they've got a blog in it. I think it's like the King of Ooh on Tumblr. And it's really fascinating. Like, you might kind of enjoy just looking at that rather than watching the cartoon.
I like Adventure Time, to be honest. It's one of the cartoons that I do like.
Okay.
Again, they have continuity. Like, there is an ongoing story to it, and there is cause and effect. That's
kind of one of the reasons why I do enjoy Adventure Time as well. Like, because and the way they do their other episodes, kind of expanding the universe.
Yeah.
In a sense. But yeah, so you have so you have the storyboarders and you have the directors, and if that kind of helps a bit.
Yeah, I was just curious. I was just like, didn't really know what he did.
Mm.
As opposed to films that have very easily distinguished roles like Gaffer, Third Gaffer.
Yeah, Best Boy.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's music in it.
Oh, the music is great. You haven't got to, have you? You've not seen Happy Happy Joy Joy, have you?
No, I have not, no.
That's a piece of art. In my opinion,
it's just really it's like in a strange way I find it relaxing.
What I thought was interesting about Happy Happy Joy Joy is that was actually a callback to a previous episode as well.
Yes, they hallucinate in the space episode, don't they?
Yeah,
and that's when he hears Happy Happy Joy Joy, and then
it's like it's these weird stimpies that get on a bus, and when they open their mouths they say
yes, that's it. Sorry, yeah.
I don't know if that is the space episode though.
It's not the one where they're in space, but it's one where they're exploring an alien planet, isn't it? Oh, no, it's not. It's the one where he's talking about they're at the Galapagos Islands and they're looking at evolution.
That's it. They're looking at all these different animals.
Which are all just versions of Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then it's a bunch of, like, alligator Stimpies that are just going, happy, happy, joy.
See, I'm slowly convincing you that you actually enjoyed it.
No, you won't, Dan. He's not going to change his mind. He's an asshole.
Both of you.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah, but you didn't like it.
I'm just not going to watch any more.
No, I definitely am not going to watch it anymore.
Didn't it make you think of any other cartoons as well, though? Like Cow and Chicken and Two Stupid Dogs?
Yeah.
Right,
it reminded me of that era of cartoons.
I never really saw a lot of that era cartoons, like the Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network. Johnny Bravo, is that one of them?
Oh, boy, yeah.
Never saw that. I only had CBBC and CITV as a kid.
But they played some of them.
I'm sure they didn't, because I would have seen them.
It was,
not often, but
I had to go to my nan and granddad's, and I remember like using their whatever box it was to like watch Cartoon Network when I could.
Yeah, you needed a special boxy thing that my family could never afford.
See, but I didn't have one either. Like, as a really young kid, we had Sky, but that was before I was into these sort of cartoons. But I definitely, as a kid, saw Cow and Chicken, Cat Dog.
Oh, Cat Dog.
Shows like that, and I didn't have any of that stuff. But I used to watch. Like, I've seen a lot of Cow and Chicken.
I haven't seen any of them.
I think Cow and Chicken was on ITV, but obviously it wasn't on as much as it was on like Cartoon Network and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, also bear in mind there's like a good probably 4-year difference. I imagine there wasn't a lot of crossover when you were watching cartoons
Liam
and I was.
Probably way too refined.
Well, no. You say it like that,
Cow and Chicken.
but no. Think about it. You weren't watching that when you were 2, were you? So
That's
what
true.
age would you have been when you were watching it?
I would have been primary school.
Yeah.
So
it's probably like 5 onwards.
So it would have been like a.
So Liam would have been 9.
Yeah. So I was probably. I was probably watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Well, I watched that anyway.
Watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
That was awesome. That was a show.
Well, you were 4 years too old for it at that point.
I probably watched the Tweenies way beyond when I should have stopped watching.
The Tweenies?
Oh, don't get me started. They all just wanted me to come and play with them.
You shouldn't have been watching the Tweenies at all.
Why not?
Because I remember the Tweenies because I had a younger sister who is
cousins.
8 years younger than me.
But how good was Jake?
Who?
I hate
Jake.
Oh, good lord.
What were they all? Milo? Jake? Bella?
Oh,
what's the... And Fizz? Something like that?
Fizz.
And then what was the dog called?
I don't remember the dog's name. He was too mature for Ren and Stimpy, but he would watch the Tweenies.
And then they do the bit where it'd be like, I'm Milo! I'm whatever! I'm Jake! And I'm... that didn't help me remember their names at all.
I've googled it for you, Liam.
Thank
the
you.
dog was called... There were 2 dogs.
Peter.
But the red one, which I think is the one you're talking about, was called Doodles.
Doodles!
Oh,
That's the one. He was my boy.
Let me just quickly check. When did Tweenies come out?
Let's not go down that
2002.
What?
It first aired in 1999, so, you know.
Yeah.
But let's be honest.
Let's not do the math on that.
2002 was when CBBC got it.
Let's not do the math on that.
Well, let's Liam. If you were 4 in 1991 when I was 0, then in 2002 you would have been 15. So let's just really think about that for a second there, Liam. At 15, you were too old for Ren and Stimpy, fine with the tweenies.
Yeah, whatever. I didn't like it that much. I can't really... as I was watching it, I was trying to figure out what I didn't like about it, and I couldn't, pinpoint any one thing. I just felt really unfulfilled by it.
Okay, that's fair enough.
What would you give it out of 5, Liam?
1.5.
Oh,
Dan?
I like it. Well, the stuff I watched already, 4, but I'm gonna finish it.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a 3. So there you go, listeners. That's our ratings of it.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was alright. I'm not going to watch any more, but it was okay.
It didn't add anything to my life.
And Liam regrets that it took 2 hours out of his life.
Does it not?
It was more than 2 hours.
Does it not make you want to watch more of those kind of style of cartoons, like Ed, Ed and Eddie, or?
Oh, Ed, Ed,
I
Ed
do feel like there is probably some of those cartoons would probably appeal to me more than Ren and Stimpy did, maybe. But I'm not gonna hunt them down.
Powerpuff Girls?
Never saw. I did see. I think one I always wanted to see. I maybe saw an episode here and there. Was Dexter's Laboratory.
Oh man,
that was good. Yeah.
But I did feel like I was watching Ren and Stimpy, and I was like, I'm 28 years of age. I probably I don't know what I'm supposed to be getting from this.
Again, though, listeners, 15 watching tweenies, but sure, fuck it, Liam, why not?
I mean, people can change is the thing that's important.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right, so shall I do what are we doing next time?
Okay. No, I do it.
Okay.
You have to set me up though.
What are you doing? I'm a little bit curious.
So, I'm pleased you asked, Dan. Thank you very much for showing an interest. On the next episode of the Nerd on Nerd podcast, coming soon, we're going to be doing a movie which is available currently on Netflix UK called Turbo Kid. So...
Is that the snail film?
No, that's just Turbo.
Oh, okay.
If you've been paying attention to our Twitter, you will have seen what we'll be doing. So this whole thing's moot, and hopefully you'll have written in. But if not... we'll be recording on the day this episode goes up, because I'm going to America. So I'm going to say this time, it's cool if you don't write in. If you still want to write in, we'll read it out on the next one. Don't worry about it.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Nerd on Nerd. I've been Jack Hempster.
I've been Liam Underwood.
And he's been...
Dan Palmer.
If you want to get in contact with us, you can tweet us at nerdonnerd or email us at nerdonnerdpod@gmail.com. We've also got a new YouTube channel, which at the moment we're uploading episodes of this, the podcast too, but we've also got some special video episodes that will be going up, us doing different things. So if you want to go and look at that and subscribe to help us, because, you're lovely people, just go on YouTube and search Nerd on Nerd. The way I do it is I search Nerd on Nerd, it's called a fleshlight, which is slightly weird to type in, but trust me, it gets you there.
You're spoiling them, you are.
We're making it so easy. Do you want to mention your Twitter handle, Dan, or are we not doing that? I don't mind.
Okay, thank you.
He doesn't want to because he's a secret man with a secret life.
I'm like a spy. I shouldn't even be doing this, to be honest.
That's actually a huge mistake. You even saying you're a spy.
Maybe that's a trick. Maybe I'm not a spy.
Oh
but
shit! Maybe that's the trick.
Oh no.
If you want to go on iTunes, well, if you want to, go and rate us 5 stars. I'm not going to mention all the other star ratings you could give us because we are so good that I know you'll give us 5.
You could even write a nice little review so we know what we're doing right.
Which is all of it.
Yep.
Being yourselves.
Thank you, Dan.
I'd also like to say a big thank you to our very special guest.
Oh, do I get chocolates?
No.
Oh.
We don't have the budget.
I don't eat chocolate.
Oh,
I like that stops you buying him chocolate.
Can I have a fruit bowl then?
Yes, come over. I'll make you a nice bowl of fruit. My local Tesco's have started doing blackberries now, which makes me all sorts of happy.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.